Alright, I just walked out into this meadow. Looks like a little tiny brown antler. Yep, it's definitely a brownie. It's pretty sweet. It's a little 5-point. I'll have to loop around here and see if I can match them up and see what else is in here. But that's awesome. That means I'm the first one in here. Let me get some pictures. I'll get back with you. And that is an old antler. There is nothing even left. It's been almost completely chewed out. But let's see what else we can run into. I found that brown and that old nasty chewed up one. Looks like I got another antler right there. Looks like a 6-point. Looks like last year's hard white. It's pretty crazy. That means we missed this in here last year, but that's a pretty sweet antler. So let me get a picture and then I'll turn this back on. All right. Yeah, it's probably definitely hard white from last year. Pretty crazy. We didn't find a whole lot of 6-points in here last year, mostly 5s, but it's pretty sweet to see that. Hopefully some bigger bulls are in here this year. Well, it's been about 30 minutes, but I see another. I see some tines right there. See it? It's like an old one. Really old one. And I can't believe these all get missed in here. Another old 5-point. Half chewed up. But I'll take it. Hopefully we get into some others. Well, we just started dropping down this ridge. We got another antler. It's like a 5-point from here. Looks like a hard white from last year. Oh, it's a 6-point. Wonder if that's the match to that other 6. I never found that one. No, that one's older. It's got some pretty good cracks on it. I don't know, I'll have to pull it out and see, but that's 3 in the last 45 minutes maybe. Maybe it's been an hour, but let me get some pictures. Alright, let's flip them over. He's got a weak 3rd, weak fronts, good sword, good 5th. Yeah, he's older, he's pretty cracked. So it's definitely not a match to one of the ones I have. I could have found it last year or the year before. But who knows, this thing's at least 3-4 years old. Down that ridge, find that last 6-point, I guess it's a chalker. I went and looked in that little clearing there, came across the wash, and we got another antler right there. See it? Looks like another old chalker. Let's go check it out. And that thing is ancient. Looked like it was a 5-point, but 4th and the 5th have been chewed off. Oh yeah, that's a big time chalk. Look how cracked out that is. That thing's ancient. But that's a good sign. It means nobody's been in here for a long time. Let's keep looping around, see what else we can find. That's how close I got to this thing before I saw it. Call these ankle biters. Sometimes you miss the little ones, spikes. The one's covered in grass. But that's another one. It's been about 2 hours, but that's 5 in the last 2 hours. That's pretty good. I'm gonna keep going down this draw. Man, the bull elk sign is, there's tons of bull elk sign. The smell is just overwhelming. They must have been in here today. There's a little bit of water back here, so looks like they use this route to get some water. Hopefully I get into some more, we'll see. Walking through this draw, there's another old antler. You can hardly see it, it's so camouflaged with those dead tree limbs. It's at the bottom of this canyon, kind of in that brush pile, but look how camouflaged that thing is. Let me pull it out. It's nice. That's number 6 for the day. Looks like we're really getting into them. So it's crazy. I haven't found one single brown. I got elk sign, fresh bull elk rubs everywhere. They must be on the next ridge over. I haven't seen any browns. So we'll have to come back in here. Pull this thing out. Big little 5-point. Yep, little 5. But I ain't complaining. Got my weapon still in my hand. A little spike. In case I see a bear. Let's keep moving through here, see what else we run into. I'm kind of picking on this old fire road, and there's an antler right there. It'd be number 7 in the last 3 hours. Another small one. I'd say that's a hard white from last year. A little 5-point. I don't think it's this year's brown, it's too light. But that's pretty sweet. That's number 7 in the last 3.5 hours. I'm pretty happy. My pack's getting pretty freaking heavy. I may have to do a stash pile here pretty soon. But see what else we can run. I just picked up this 5-point, but I think I see another antler. Man, this is crazy. That's an old one too. Piece of the broken tine sitting right there. That one's probably 2 or 3 years old. That is, man, I'm losing track. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's number 8 in the last 3.5 hours. That's just 2 in the last 1 minute. This is getting crazy. I gotta see what else we can find in here. Alright, I'm hiking at the bottom of this draw. I should have probably seen this antler earlier, but I was trying to watch my footing walking over these logs, but I happened to look over and see an antler. Can you see it? So let me hike over there and look at it. It looks like a 5-point just hanging on that tree over there. Shows up better when I zoom in. Let's go check it out. Oh, there it is. Looks like an old one. It's just crazy. Maybe that bull's coming up or down. Just fell off right there. It's an old chalker again. Let's see how cracked it is from here. That thing's old. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just a 5-pointer. But that's pretty cool. Let's see what else we can find. Well, I just hiked through there. Came down and saw some bones. I'm right by the bottom of this wash. Started looking around. A few more bones over there. Looked over here and look what we got here. It's like a little 5-point deadhead. Nose is all chewed off. And I have a love-hate relationship with deadheads. I love finding them, but I hate packing them out. But that's a pretty sweet find. He's a little 6 actually on that side. He might be on this side too. He looks like he's broke off. But that's pretty sweet. Let's keep looking around and see what else we can find. For those of you that have never found a deadhead or tried to cut the antlers off of a deadhead, it's amazing how hard the bone is around that area. Even with the Sawzall, I usually keep a handsaw with me. Use it for trail cams to cut the limbs and stuff out. But trying to cut these things out takes forever. These things come in handy. This is a little Kershaw wood saw that I keep in my pack. I got one side off, cut through most of it, and then broke the rest off. That's what I usually do. See that? And these are some of the lightest browns. Looks like he was a 6. He got split right there. A little tiny 6 right here. But pretty sweet. Well, that's not my preferred method, but that is the easiest way to find a set of antlers. It's pretty nice finding those. I just hate seeing that situation. Sometimes wish these guys could have lived to fulfill their potential, get hunted the proper way. But that's 3 in the last 20 minutes, so let's keep rounding this bend and see what else we can run into. Well, that sucks. My friend Dallas and I found like 9 sheds up on this ridge last year, and I just found an old chalker and the deadhead down that way in the draw. I thought we had this spot all to ourselves, but someone's been in here recently on a quad, maybe within the last week or 2. So who knows what they picked up in here. No wonder I'm not finding any browns. But no one can find them all. I'm just gonna drop into the steep side hill stuff and into the canyons where they can't ride these quads. See what else we find. I'll get back with you. Check this out, I just saw. Look right there. Watch this. See those tines? A road shed. You see those tines as I'm coming up this little hill. Let's go check it out. Looks like a hard white, maybe. Little tiny 6-point. Pretty sweet. He's too small to be the match from yesterday. It's just crazy. We found so many sheds in here. I found another 4 today. Found 8 yesterday. So we'll have to keep coming back in here until this place just completely runs out.
So I'm headed up to Sholo to run some errands, and I decided to pull off on the side of the road and hike around a little bit. And I'm not sure, but it seems like there's some tines right through there, so I'm gonna walk over and see what it is. Just broken. But it's something. I'm right by the road and just walked up and found this. It's pretty crazy. Awesome. We've been hiking for about an hour in a new spot. Finally just found my first one, and it looks older. Definitely older. It's disintegrating. But it's something.
Alright, we're hiking this morning. I think I see my first shed of the day. I can see some chalky tines sticking up right there. It's old and white and chewed on. Probably just a little raghorn. Oh yeah, it's tiny. And way old. But at least the first one's out of the way this morning. Hopefully we get into some others. I've been kind of side hilling over there. Just found this old chalky pink one. There's another antler. Right there. Another old one. Maybe. Oh, not as bad. Another 5-point. That might be a 2-year-old hard white. It's pretty sweet. See what else we can find. Yeah, it might be a couple years old. Kind of pink already on that side. Still got some color on this side. Another little 5.
I'm on my way back to the truck and just climbed a steep hill and walked up over to find this little broken guy. But it's another one. I'll take it.
Hiking through this grassy draw. I think I see tip of a tine. I have not confirmed. Yep, looks like a shed. Oh man, it looks like a brown from this year. Yeah, that is for sure a brown from this year. Dang, we were headed back to the vehicles to get out of here too. That was pretty sweet. Hopefully we can get into some others, then I'll have to keep watching this draw, keep looking around in here. Well, that's freaking awesome. That's how close to that thing I got before I saw it. Almost walked right past it. It's an old, probably 4-point raghorn. Been sitting here for 7-8 years at least. Well, that's number 6 for the day. Hopefully we can get into a few more before it gets dark. We'll get back. Just hiking down, we moved spots again. I was about to come down this little drop off here and looked over, and there's an old shed. Looks like an old chalker. Would have been a pretty nice 6-point actually. It's got pretty good fronts. 3rd, 4th is broke, 6th is broke, but it's pretty sweet. Have to see what else we can run into in here.
We've been hiking for a few hours and I just almost tripped on this one. It's the only thing I found all day. It's an old, broken 5-point.
Alright, so here's something I like to do. I like to hike these elk trails. And 60% of the time, it works every time. But I was coming along, and you can see an old antler. Looks like a 6 or a 7-point. Let's hike around there and see if we can see that better. Yeah, it's a pretty sweet bull. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-pointer. Kind of got a small back end. Looks like his 5th's busted. He's got a short sword. Short 3, but that's a sweet antler. Hopefully some other bulls came down this way and lost their points. So I just pulled them out. Starting to turn pink on this side, but it's pretty cool. He's got a lot of blading going on. It's got little tiny short points on the back end, but pretty sweet antler. See what else we can find. Freaking rattlesnake right there. Can you see it? Crazy.
Well, it ended up being a pretty good weekend. We ended with about 4 browns. The 2 up top are from the deadhead. I think we only had 2 hard whites and the rest are just chalk. Some of these are so old they're barely hanging on. Got a couple of spikes, some busted off ones. That was a pretty cool 7-point I found yesterday, but it's old and chalky. But I think we ended up with 21 for the weekend. It's pretty sweet. It puts us at 95 so far since February 14th. That's quite a few antlers. Well on our way to 500 for the year, so stick around for more. We'll gather a lot more videos this year for sheds. Got some trips planned and some cool things in the works, so we'll get back with you guys.